Hey everybody, it's Jason Creel and you're watching The Lawn Care Life. Today I'm throwing out St. Augustine sod on my property and I'm going to show you where I'm going to put it and show you the update on some of the other sod I've laid. I've put out some zoysia, I put out some bermuda. Everything's starting to shape up. It's not where we want it, but it's getting closer than it was when we started. I guess that's pretty obvious. But it's going to be plugging the St. Augustine sod. Again, I'm trying to do this on a budget and just use limited resources to put the sod out. I've got more time than money, so I'm going to throw it out and let it spread. So that's what we're doing in today's video, along with giving you an update on what the other sod we've laid and what the property's shaping up to look like. Let's get started. I realize some of you watch the videos regular and some of you do not. Brief update, we cleared this land, bought this property a year and a half ago, or getting, I guess, something like that. And this was all a jungle back here, so thick you couldn't walk through it. We cleared the land and now we're starting to try to make it look like something. So this is the zoysia I laid about 6 weeks ago. It was looking really good. And I've kind of let the heat get it and honestly hadn't watered it. So it's kind of, I did water it some. When I put it out, we got tons of rain and now it's lost its luster a little bit. But I think what I'm gonna, hopefully within the next few days we're getting tons of rain, so I'm thinking it's gonna bounce back. And it, you know, zoysia, I put it in the shade, and this Zorro is supposed to be a great variety, only needs 3 or 4 hours of sunlight. But in the sun areas, I went with bermuda because I have several acres to cover, and I've got a video laying the Zorro zoysia. I've got a video laying the bermuda. And bermuda, I wasn't able to water it as well. I did water it. Actually used a ride-on spreader sprayer and just came out here and sprayed it, and a tank sprayer. But you can see how we got bermuda squares all over this. So this was about a year ago. This was a big forest, basically. I wouldn't even call it a forest. It was just nasty old brush that was grown up. But this bermuda, you can see some of them are greener than others, but it's definitely stuck to the ground. I mean, it was stuck to the ground within about a week. It's been down about 2.5 weeks now. Some are looking better than others. We got 2 pallets and just threw out randomly all through here. And again, looking forward to some big rains that will help this start to grow. So, but what I'm thinking is the St. Augustine, well, let me show you, I got a couple of large oak trees on the property, and the way the sun comes on this property, it does actually get some sun under here, but I don't think it's going to do great for the bermuda. I mean, I threw some bermuda out, but I'm not too confident. So it depends on how many pieces of St. Augustine I have left. I got 60 pieces. I may end up putting some on the back side of this tree. And you think, why are you mixing grass types? Well, you know, one, I'm just trying to get stuff to grow. I mean, it gets real wet back here in the winter, and if it's just dirt, it's just gonna be a mud hole. So the time of this video is late July. I got a little bit of time left this year to get it to fill in, or else it's gonna be a real muddy mess back here. But I'm thinking, I put some St. Augustine in here. And does St. Augustine look good with bermuda? Not really, in my opinion. I mean, I've been down to Florida and you see some of these sandy yards that are kind of half St. Augustine, half bermuda, and to me they look terrible. But I'm going to try to keep them separated, have like a section that's bermuda and have a section that's St. Augustine. So I'm going to kind of try to keep my St. Augustine refined to the shadier areas, like along this creek area. I'm thinking it might grow here. Now this is some rough dirt, so I'm not giving it ideal circumstances. Here's a little shot here. I went ahead and put my golf flag up over there. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. Let's see if I can figure out. You can see that red thing in the distance. I don't like to zoom on this, but if you wanted to look like a golf course, I guess you could go ahead and stick the flag in the ground. That's about the only thing that's looking like a golf course so far. But again, I know what it looked like before we started, so I'm happy with a little bit of progress. See, back here we've got a little construction going on, which I'm real excited about that. It's gonna be a future workshop, hopefully. and you got another 2 large oak trees. So back here you're going to be even more limited on sunlight. So I'm going to try to do some St. Augustine back here. It's really a misconception, and this is something that I've probably said in the past and was corrected on by a friend of mine, but you know, when people say, oh, St. Augustine likes shady areas, and that's really not true. When you look at grass types, they'll typically say something like shade tolerant. So it would be more correct to say that it tolerates shade better than other varieties like Bermuda or Centipede, or you know, for our area, you're pretty much looking at zoysia or St. Augustine in the shadier areas. We're a little bit too far south for you to get by with fescue and things like that. Now, I'm really kind of on the borderline as far as where St. Augustine will do great. Further south would be better. I'm in north central Alabama, but St. Augustine not gonna like a cold winter. So it may get beat up a little bit in the winter time. We do have a few lawns around here that have St. Augustine, and they seem to do fine, even though, you know, like I said, a cold winter, they're gonna struggle a little bit, but they should hopefully bounce back. But this area back here, I just got it graded out the other day, and I'm gonna just call it St. Augustine Island. So basically I'm thinking about throwing about 10 pieces back here. And again, I just want it not to be muddy mess. I don't have to have this the most manicured St. Augustine, but if I bought zoysia and threw it out, I mean, it would take, you know, you'd have to sod it solid or wait years for it to spread. So I'm thinking if I put 10 pieces of St. Augustine, I'll get coverage back here hopefully next year, where zoysia may take, you know, 3 years or so, as slow as it spreads. So I'm just thinking St. Augustine might be a little faster choice, and I can keep it confined. If it blends in with the Bermuda, I can get rid of the St. Augustine out of the Bermuda. Now if the Bermuda gets in with the St. Augustine, I don't know what to do about that, but hopefully I can have a nice St. Augustine patch under this tree, over there on the island, and maybe over there by that big tree, and then a little on the creek. That's what I'm hoping, but I only bought 60 pieces, so we'll see how far it goes. Hopefully get a workshop here in the next week or so, getting a 36 by 36 shop with a lean-to off of one side. So it's gonna have ultimately 36 by 48 of covered space, but only 36 by 36 of it will be enclosed on a concrete pad. So looking forward to having somewhere to keep some stuff. So what I'm going to do on this, I'm going to tear these pieces in half and throw them, and hopefully they'll spread a little faster, cover the ground faster. Where on the Bermuda, I just threw the whole piece out. The weather is looking great. Hopefully going to rain tonight. It looks like rain the next 2, possibly 3 days, a lot of rain. I think what will happen is as it gets wet back here and it turns in basically a mud puddle, I'll just come out here with my rubber boots and step on it and kind of squish it down into the mud, and that should keep the roots, you know, hopefully that'll be all I need. But I may have to do a little bit of sporadic watering over the first few weeks, depending on how much rain we get. All right, let's throw some sod out. I'm gonna have to go get a machete or a hatchet or something to cut this in half. Found my machete, and so we're gonna whack these in 2 and then spread them out. All right, we got it done. I might be for hire to do this, but if so, I'd be very expensive because that machete about wore me out. Let me show you the finished product. It's gonna need a lot of water because this sod did not have a lot of topsoil on the bottom of it. It had been watered pretty well at the place I bought it from. They used to sell it by the piece. And they keep it water, but it's just very thin topsoil. So again, we're hopefully gonna get a lot of rain over the next couple of days, and if it gets my dirt all muddy, I'll just come step on it and press it down in the mud. I think I'll be fine for that if I keep it watered. So this is obviously less than ideal circumstance. You see how rocky and terrible this dirt is. We put some out here. I'm not looking for every bit of it to just do great, but if it'll start growing and I can continue leveling this out, you know, I know you're probably supposed to do all that on the front end, but I kind of just do stuff whenever I get ready to do it. And then so I got some along here in this area. I don't know how well it'll do, but we'll see. And then put a little bit, I think the way the sun's coming from over there, it'll, you know, I just put it basically directly under this tree because the limbs go up fairly high on this tree and it does get some sun. And on the back, so maybe like a 10-foot diameter around the tree. Better shot of my golf flag and my fig tree, which hopefully 10 years from now will be producing a bumper crop. And I've got a row of these, what are these? Green giant arborvitae. Hopefully grow up where it won't have so much noise in the background. This is back over here where we started under this tree, and you can see where we placed it here. It's going to be close to the workshop. I'm not sure it's going to get enough sunlight back here, but I thought it was worth a try. But I do think it'll grow on what I've named St Augustine Island. We made a little bridge where I could get my lawnmower back here to mow it once it's nice and lush. That piece of Bermuda did not do so well. You'll be surprised sometimes, even when it looks like that, you get a lot of rain, it'll start coming back. I mean, it's not coming back from the dead, but it's pretty close. And lastly, we put some over here where I've got my chicken coop. We got some chickens a few weeks ago and been enjoying having those around. I'm not sure what effect chickens have on sod. I don't know if it'll be positive or negative. They seem to eat a lot of things. So we'll see. I don't know. See how it goes. Thanks for watching the video. There's over 500 lawn care videos on the channel. There's also resources available for those of you in the lawn care business over at lawncarelife.com. I'm Jason Creel and encourage you to subscribe. Leave your comments below. Tell me what I did wrong. I'm not a professional landscaper or sod layer, but if I can just get it to survive, I feel very confident in making it look great moving into next year. If you want to go ahead and leave the comment to save others the time that says I'd fire you if that was my house and you did that job at my house, go ahead, be the first one. Just say I'd fire you if you did that sloppy work at my house. Fortunately, this is my house and I'm not going to fire myself. Talk to you later. Bye.